Hey, LTLs, this is Shades here. Just a quick note before we get into this week's Midstream. We recorded this at the end of last week. We were ready to drop it, and immediately after recording, we checked our inbox and just had a plethora of messages for you. We tried to get it in this week, but we weren't able to, so tune into the next Midstream to hear all of your questions answered, and we're going to have a very interesting conversation about the never-ending story. All right. On to this week's Midstream. Thanks for writing in. And like I said, we'll get to that next Midstream.
Oh, hello. I'm Sketch.
And I'm Shades.
And this is
Geek Out Midstream.
Guys, thanks again for joining us on another Midstream. Welcome back, Shades.
Welcome back, Sketch. How are you?
I'm doing good. Enjoyed our foray into the summer of 19. Long gone at this point.
Yeah.
Doesn't it
Good
really
times.
feel like
it is
the season's
officially
changing?
Oh, it feels like fall here.
Yeah. It's nice. I love fall. It's my favorite season.
In mine as well, Sketch.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah. We should do a Geeking Out episode all on fall.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning into our fall episode
Midstream.
of Geeking Out.
There
Fall
you go.
Midstream. It's all hot chocolates and pumpkin spice lattes and apple cider.
And yeah, apple picking. That's huge.
Apple picking, yeah.
Huge in fall.
Yes.
Yeah. But this is not only the fall episode. This is also our chance to make any corrections or answer any questions about our season. Wait, what was it?
Summer of season 3's.
Summer of season 3 spectacular.
Yes.
With Shades and Sketch.
This is our fall out of summer of season 3 spectacular
Nice.
Midstream.
I like that. Good pun.
Thank you.
Good pun. We talked about.
I'm all about naming things for some reason, Sketch.
For some reason that we might talk about.
We might.
Very, very soon. So we talked about Stranger Things season 3, and we talked about Jessica Jones season 3.
Yes.
Any corrections that you would like to make? Any adjustments to scores? Any answers of questions? This is your opportunity.
No corrections, no take backsies, but I did want to mention an omission. We didn't talk a lot about. We didn't mention Lucas, and I just wanted to loop back to Lucas's arc.
Okay.
I really enjoyed what they did with Lucas this season.
You did enjoy what they did with Lucas?
I did, yes. He was like Mike's guru, and they've, Lucas is kind of always the doubter. He's kind of the person that we access the universe through. Like, this is crazy. We can't take on this government agency. We got to call the police. But he's also the guy that comes through in like the clutch situation. And there he was with his firework plan, which, we kind of said Billy saved the day, but it was Lucas's plan that gave them the opportunity in the window to save Elle.
Yeah, I didn't bring up Lucas because I personally found him this season to be a very generic character. I don't know. He lost a lot of his childlike wonder, but it wasn't replaced with anything. I guess the guru thing that you're talking about, but I just feel like I've seen that everywhere.
Yeah, it wasn't new, but I was
new.
glad that they gave him something in this season. He didn't really have anything in season 2. He was just kind of there in season 2.
I felt like in season 2, he was, and you've rewatched it more recently than I have, but I felt like he was a great catalyst for the just between the Max and the Billy, introducing them and really getting to learn about the two of them through Lucas's involvement with Max. Yeah,
I would agree with that. And I just mean in terms of the larger story. Lucas and Max wanting to know what was going on with the group and why Mike hated her so much and wasn't giving her a chance. He was as removed from events as Dustin was in many ways. They were both kind of off doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And it was Lucas is always the one that seems to recalibrate the quickest back to, okay, we got to do this. And I have rewatched it a fourth time since recording our summer of season 3s. And yeah, I thought it was a stronger, certainly had a presence. They definitely left Will behind in season 3.
Oh yeah.
Which is troubling, but they seemed to replace a lot of that with Lucas's taking the lead, if you will, but badly.
Well, if you call Mike the main character, like he basically was in season 1, I mean, right. Will was his driving force in the first 2 seasons, and now he's kind of leaving, like you said, Will behind, and instead kind of hitching his wagon to the Lucas train.
Because he sees Lucas as like suave and carrying on this capable relationship with Max. Yeah.
He doesn't see Will as bringing him into adulthood the way Lucas will.
Right.
Yep.
And I don't know that I enjoy it, but I just felt that we didn't really give Lucas his due in the episode, so I just wanted to bring that up.
You know who else I think was neglected this season was Jonathan.
I would agree with that. I think part of that was also that he was filming the New Mutants.
Okay.
And also we should say that Lucas and Max are both feature pretty heavily on Broadway. So I think that's a lot of what's going on there with how the storytelling is shaped out for characters. Jonathan, he felt more present in a way than Lucas, but when you really go back and look at it, he is missing from that season.
Yeah, he really is. His character, he's physically there, but his character is pretty absent.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He was really just like Nancy's sidekick.
Yeah, I would agree 100% with that.
Yeah. Like the guy in her sidecar, if you did the old cartoon trick and pulled the pin out and the sidecar went off, Nancy still had a driving force. She still had a plot to go on. But Jonathan would have just stalled out right there.
Not so much. Exactly.
Yeah.
Jonathan would have been very happy to be working in that dark room.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he did. He was in the first steps of being a professional photographer, following his passion, taking the first baby steps into that career field.
That's all over now, baby blue.
Yep. Anything else? I mean, originally when you were rewatching it, I don't know if it was the third or the fourth time, you thought you were going to readjust some scores. Have you since taken that back again?
I don't. It's tough, Sketch, because I have to give it to season 1.
Yeah.
Because they certainly banked on getting a second season, but they didn't know if they were getting a second season.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a big risk to end season 1 with that cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Season 1 was bold and fresh and new, and they took a lot of chances, and they did so much with virtually no budget. I mean, the monster was a guy in a suit. Yep. They had one person for their visual effects and computer effects team.
And there was something so great about that.
There was. I will come out and say right now that my favorite season is season 1.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were to reorder them, I would reorder them 1, 3, 2.
Yeah, that's also my order.
There's something about season 2 that I love, but I recognize that it's a weaker season than all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, and 1 also, I mean, it has the mystery going for it, which
it does.
You really can't recapture because we've established too much in the world now.
That's true. And season 3 was more about the nostalgia. The show is more about the nostalgia now than it is about a suspense series. It really isn't about the suspense or the jeopardy anymore. It's more about diving into and living in this nostalgic world.
Right.
And
Right.
so it has lost something in that regard.
Well, when season 4 of Stranger Things comes out, we'll talk about it.
Iron Eagles.
Iron.
Stranger Eagles. Have you ever seen any of the Iron Eagle movies?
Nope.
Sketch. Oh, it's a great time. Louis Gossett Jr., some generic like 80s heartthrob kid, and they fly jets and rescue his dad.
Wow.
From
Russia.
Russia or Ukraine or I don't know where.
Yeah.
Vietnam, maybe.
Something vaguely
Cold War
foreign. Cold War foreign. That was a whole genre.
It was
Cold War foreign. Yeah. Yep.
Sketch, do you have anything that you want to revisit, take back?
On Jessica Jones? On Stranger Things. On Stranger Things, no. I mean, I've said my piece.
Cool.
And just bringing it up to, if we may, to Jessica Jones.
Yes. Sure.
I only have one thing to answer on Jessica Jones, and that is Vito. Vito is the name of the little boy.
Vito.
I was close when I said Tito.
And I said Enzo or Enzio.
Yeah.
And you said that sounded Italian, and it couldn't be Italian. Vito sounds pretty Italian.
Yeah. Yep, but I looked it up. It's on the old Jessica Jones Wikipedia page.
There we go. Vito.
I'll miss him.
I'm glad we established that.
Yep.
You miss him?
Oh yeah, I think we will. I think maybe he'll show up in Wardens.
The Wardens, yes, yeah. The Wardens.
Yeah, hopefully he'll show up.
I was just gonna say that. Maybe he'll feature in the Wardens.
Yep. I think he's gonna be big. He's gonna
be their office manager.
Maybe he'll be the new Spider-Man.
Oh, hey, yeah, maybe.
Always a chance.
It's possible.
Other than that, though, I mean, I feel like I gave Jessica the love that I feel for it, and I don't take anything back there.
Cool.
I'm feeling good. I'll miss it. Miss the universe. That's what I'll leave it on. I'm gonna miss the Netflix Marvel universe.
Me too.
Yep. For all of its troubles, it has had some. It has some great highs, and I'll leave it at that.
That sounds fair.
It at that. Well, any big geek news this week?
Yeah, so there's been some news with Crisis on Infinite Earths that'll be dropping in December. And Sketch, I know that you've kind of drifted from the Arrowverse as we've moved into a streaming world.
Yep.
I think you and many longtime listeners out there are feeling the same.
It's hard to feel excited about it knowing that Stephen Amell's leaving.
Yeah.
I don't think I realized it until he made that announcement how much of that universe for me is him as Oliver Queen.
I agree.
And with him out of it, and maybe that's a little bit of why even before he announced it, I was starting to lose a little interest, because the universe now that they've created much, much bigger than Oliver Queen.
Yes.
Much bigger than Stephen Amell's power in that universe. So
yes.
And
the show's been winding down over the last 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, listen, clearly. Am I going to catch up? Yeah, I will. Am I watching it every week like I used to make sure I was current? No, I'm not. But I also haven't completely given up on the CW DC shows.
Sure.
I'll binge them at some point.
Yeah, they're all on all the seasons are on Netflix now.
Yeah, it's nice.
So you can catch up when you get a chance.
Yeah, exactly. They're still there.
They are. Well, I just to touch on what's going on, we have all of many of our features that are going to be part of this Crisis on the Infinite Earths, and we have a pretty good idea of what Earths we're going to. So those not in the know, Crisis on Infinite Earths was a DC Comics event in the early mid 80s, in which they collapsed the multiverse. And the multiverse was a way of keeping all of the DC properties in their own time and place while explaining the fact that they didn't overlap in continuity. So you had the Fawcett comics where Captain Marvel lived. You had the Smallville where Superman was still a boy, Superboy. You had the mainline continuity of Earth Prime. You had Earth 10, which was filled with evil superheroes and Nazis. You had Earth 16, which is where Young Justice takes place. It's ever so slightly different than our Earth Prime story arc. You had Earth 2, which was all of the Golden Age heroes, and in the 80s, DC said, we're just going to bring everybody into continuity. We're going to collapse all of the multiverse into just one Earth. And that lasted right through till the mid 2000s, I think.
Wow, that's longer than I thought it would have.
Infinite Crisis relaunched the multiverse. I want to say that was like 2005 or 6, right around the time we graduated from college.
Wow.
And so we're going to visit a lot of those Earths. We're going to revisit the CW's Smallville, where Tom Welling played not quite Superman. We never saw him in the cape and tights until literally the last seconds of the show. We're going to have Brandon Routh return as Superman. He featured in Superman Returns, which was a continuation of the Christopher Reeves Superman story arc. And it replaced Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, I think, or maybe that was Superman 3. I can't quite remember. And they've kind of decided that Christopher Reeves Superman universe from those original Superman 1 and 2 movies from the 70s, that's going to be Kingdom Come universe. And so Brandon Routh is going to play the Kingdom Come Superman. We're also going to have a couple of Batmen, as they will. So we'll have finally Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman from the animated series, is finally going to play a live action Bruce Wayne, and he's going to be the Bruce Wayne from Batman Beyond. He's going to be playing old Bruce Wayne, so we might also get Terry McGinnis.
Well, I would imagine we'd have to at that point.
Yeah,
that's pretty exciting.
It is very exciting, right? And we're going to have a number of Lois Lanes, and we're going to get Burt Ward, 1960s Robin from the 1960s Batman series, opposite Adam West, who is sadly no longer with us. But Burt Ward is going to reprise Robin.
Jeez.
From that universe. I don't know what that's going to look like, but that's pretty wild when you think of it.
Yeah, it really is.
So, I mean, they really are folding in just about every aspect of DC Comics TV and movie lineage prior to the Snyderverse that they can. I think that's pretty fantastic.
That is pretty cool. Just a side note, they should totally do a live action Batman Beyond on the DC streaming service. I am
right there with you, Sketch.
Yeah. The technology is there.
It is.
You could do it, and boy, with how well they handle Titans, that could be great.
It really could. I'm right there with you, Sketch. I think that would be fantastic.
Because no one could be Batman. There's always the battle for the cowl.
Right?
Who could be? No one could be Batman other than Bruce Wayne.
Right.
Except for Terry McGinnis.
Terry McGinnis.
Yeah. I want that now.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that would be fantastic. Or at least a revival animated series, I think would be fantastic.
Yeah, we could do that now too.
That would be very easy for them to do, I imagine.
Yeah.
Just to finish that out, wrap it up, we're going to have Black Lightning is going to be crossing over into continuity. The Legends are going to be crossing over. Along with them is going to come Jonah Hex, played by Harry Connick Jr. and Matt Reeve.
Maybe.
I think that's his name. Matt Reeve plays Constantine.
Sure. I'll agree with you.
That may or may not be correct. And I've heard a rumor that possibly some of the Birds of Prey from the Birds of Prey series will be making an appearance, possibly
From
Huntress.
the upcoming movie?
No, from the late 1990s live action Bird of Prey series.
Oh. Never watched that.
And that universe that took place in the Earth 2 universe, where Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle had a child, Helena Wayne, playing the original Huntress from Earth 2.
Okay.
When they collapsed the multiverse, she became Helena Bertinelli, the Huntress that you and I know from when we were reading comics.
Yep.
But also look for possibly 1990s Flash to reappear as well. He often plays Jay Garrick in the
CW universe.
The CW, yes.
And he did play his 90s Flash in the crossover that we did for our episode. What was that?
Yes,
Which one
yes,
was
he
that?
did.
Whatever that one.
That was Earth.
That wasn't Earth.
I forget what Earth they said, but it was basically the Earth of all of the 90s Batman movies as well. John Wesley Shipp played Barry Allen in that series, and he also played Barry's dad in the first couple seasons of Flash, and before he played Jay Garrick from Another Earth.
The great thing about Flash is they have had characters die, but haven't lost many actors.
Yes,
they have certainly found ways to have actors stay on the show.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. There's always a way to bring a character
sometimes
back.
An actor playing multiple characters a season.
Yes. And Tom Cavanaugh, who has played Wells, Reverse Flash,
and the Council of Wells.
Tom Cavanaugh will be playing Pariah, who is a character that features in the original Crisis on Infinite Earths comic that is pivotal to that world, that universe.
Well, I will definitely catch up on all of these before the Crisis, because I am interested in that. And
I think it's going to be a good time.
Maybe I won't catch up on all of them, but I'll definitely catch up on Arrow and Flash beforehand.
I think that's worth it.
Yeah.
I think that would be worth it to do.
Yeah. Well, any other big news this week?
I think just our upcoming episode next week.
Woo!
Sketch.
This is a big one.
It is.
They're all big ones. But this
is particularly big.
I think this is our, correct me if I'm wrong, as you often do, this is our second Patreon poll winner.
I believe that is correct.
Because we had another one couple
done
episodes back.
Past, yes. Yep.
So this is from our second Patreon poll, and this is our Patreon voted movie that we're going to geek out over next week.
Correct.
And I was just tickled pink that this was the winner.
I'm right there with you.
Should we let
it was so great to revisit this property. Yeah. Longtime listeners, next week, tune in. We will once again be bending time, space, and reality. And we are going to be taking on
Galaxy
Quest.
Guys, do you remember Galaxy Quest? What did it come out in 99? I think it was 99.
Sounds about right.
I think we looked it up. And because it was just before episode 1 Star Wars came out.
Yeah,
it was right around that time. And guys, what a treat. Highly recommend you go find it.
Yeah.
Watch it.
What a good time.
Even if you did see it, back in the day,
give it a rewatch.
It'll shock you. And we're going to talk about it in the episode, but I'll say right now, it'll shock you how well it holds up.
It is shocking how well that movie holds up.
I was completely ready to, eat my words because I had told you I was very excited to rewatch it, and we rewatched it together, you and I. And I was ready to be like, oh god, no, this is not holding up. Kind of like when we sat down, we watched the first episode of the TMNT cartoon.
Yeah.
It was like, oh boy, this didn't age well. Galaxy Quest does. Dare I say, timeless.
Yes, I am right there with you, Sketch. I would say Galaxy Quest is timeless. It has aged so well.
Yeah. Better than some of the actors.
I was shocked. Yes, much better than many of the actors in it has aged well, and the effects are I was blown away by how well the effects held up.
Yeah.
And also just how beautiful the ship is.
The ship's great. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and also say the overarching theme of the movie itself.
Oh yeah.
I think we could
Right there with you.
We could really use that theme right now.
We really could.
So Patreon patrons, good on you for blowing the dust off this one, bringing it to our attention. It's time. It's time for Galaxy Quest. Yeah.
It is. So tune in next week when we will be bringing you
and geeking out over.
Yeah, very much. Yes,
yeah,
heavily
very
geeking out
much
over.
So. Yeah.
Galaxy Quest.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Never retreat, never surrender.
I'd say the hammer thing, but I never remember it.
By grab Thor's hammer, you will avenge me.
Kind of sounds like grab Thor's hammer.
Yeah, grab Thor's hammer. Maybe that's what it's supposed to be.
The Steve Rogers story.
Yeah.
Yep.
Grab
so guys, Galaxy Quest next week. Geeking Out with Shades of Sketch.
Be there.
We'll see you there. See
you next time.
See you next time, guys.